आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़ आपकी आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़, की आवाज़।
Celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we bring you a podcast series on STEM popularization, science, technology, engineering, mathematics and medicine, supported and catalyzed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. This program is produced by Media for Community Foundation. Creative content and technical support is given by Purvasha Banerjee and Shushanto Das.
एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़ आपकी आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़, की आवाज़, की आवाज़।
Indian Statistical Institute is a public university which is recognized as an institute of national importance. It grew out of the statistical laboratory set up by Prashanto Chandra Mohanlanobish in Presidency College, Kolkata. Established in 1931, this unique institution of India is one of the oldest institutions focused on statistics. Primary activities of ISI are research and training of statistics, development of theoretical statistics, and its applications in various natural and social sciences. In this podcast, we have Professor Tridib Kumar Mondal with us. He is associated with Geological Studies Unit in the Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. Sir shares his knowledge and experience in research, especially focusing on the radioactive waste disposal places.
I am Dr. Tridib Kumar Mondal, presently associated in the Geological Studies Unit, Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. I am working on the structural geology. So basically, my research interest is deforming crust. And today, I'll be talking on the radioactive waste disposal places. If you look at the today's climate, today's environment, all of us are very tensed or bothered related to this global warming, this temperature rise, etc. So we are using this fossil fuel like coal or hydrocarbon, and they are very much, emitting carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. So every nation is trying to move out from these coal and hydrocarbon, these resources. So another important thing is the radioactive. Every country is looking for these radioactive energies, right? But the problem is radioactive energy is very good, very has a very good potential. But the thing is that it has a very dangerous waste. So the idea is where to dispose this radioactive waste. My research includes how to find out this particular area where we can actually dispose this radioactive waste. What I am doing on the brittle deformation. I'm doing research on the brittle deformation. Now, just give you a brief idea what is the brittle deformation. I can give you one example. If you have a Kit Kat chocolate, it's very common to us. If you just keep this Kit Kat to your deep fridge, after some time, if you take it out and just try to break it out, what will happen? It will just break and with a sound tick like this. So this is called the brittle deformation. But the same Kit Kat, if you keep in your room temperature a certain time, then you try to break it out, it will not break, it will bend. So this is the difference between the ductile. The last one was the ductile deformation. The earlier one was the brittle deformation. I am working on this brittle deformation, and brittle deformation produces fractures, it produces lots of network, faults, etc. Now, we are looking for such places where these fractures, networks, or faults would be very less. So my research actually helps out to identify that particular place is devoid of this fracture network or fault.
Dr. Mondal explains about the importance of this research for environmental conservation and human welfare.
It's very important for us, particularly for India, because if you look about the Indian geology, we are having huge places of the rock called granite. Granite is basically dominantly made of two minerals, is quartz and feldspar. All of us have heard this term quartz and feldspar. This granite are considered to be a perfect place for radioactive waste disposal. But we have to understand whether these rocks are devoid of fractures or not. My research helps to identify how is the connectivity of these fractures. Now the problem is if I just dump the radioactive waste, it can percolate. So we have to prevent that percolation. And if we somehow understand the permeability of this kind of rock, it will be good for us.
Sir talks about the contemporaries in the global field who are working in the same field.
What I told that I'm working on this brittle deformation particularly. This is a part of structural geology. Europe, America, Japan, these countries are always ahead of us, obvious. But nowadays, what we are doing, we are also at par research with them, where many other collaborators from different countries, where we are having collaborative works, particularly with Japan and the France. And the France is working very good work in this particular domain, this radioactive waste disposals. And for India, as I told, as we are having lot of granitic terrains, lot of granitic places, this area is very good potential, could be good potential for this radioactive disposals.
We thank Professor for sharing his knowledge and experience and enriching us in this episode.